because the camera's behind me. That's fine. If I'm over here, it's fine, right? Okay, I'm gonna fire up the TikTok and see how that looks, because I think I brilliantly figured out the best way to do this. Let me do this. I don't understand. There's one other thing that I don't understand, that is I scheduled a live, and I don't know why I can't start that live over here. I just need to rename the thing then. Review Spoilercast. And spell spoiler right. Okay, now if I go live here. Okay, if you can hop over and tell me how TikTok is looking. And I guess I can pull this out. Check. TikTok, this is an audio check for TikTok. TikTok audio check. Let me know, TikTok, how that sounds. And now let's get the whatnot chat in TikTok. So many things to do. Yes, that is what I want. Okay, so oh shit. Bear with me, guys. I'm just setting. Oh no, you could probably hear me, Prof. I'm just not talking. Can you hear me, Prof? I'm trying to fix things from last night so that people can see things everywhere. I'm probably a little low because I'm not near the mic, but it'll be better in a second. I'm just making like little changes here and there. TikTok sounds good? Okay. I think we solved this problem. Now I just want the whatnot chat in TikTok. So that's visible. 1 second on any of the requests, guys. I'm just trying to fix a couple things up. I feel like this is like too much going on here. Maybe I should put this here. Put it there. Make this smaller. And then change the setting of the chat box so that it'd be like one at a time over there. This is me just trying to go like overboard with it, really. If that's one at a time, then it shouldn't clash with that. Then we can just like have all kinds of chat going on over there. This needs to be cropped a little bit better. Can't I crop the side of this? There we go. Alright, I think that looks better. Right, on TikTok that looks pretty good. With the whatnot chat over there and alright, cool. Alright, sorry. This is only our second stream on TikTok, so we're trying to like figure all that stuff out. Alright, so the main thrust here is that we do action figures. I'll give you guys more of like a formal setup here. We don't need this camera for the moment. That one we don't need for a moment. Okay. We just need that for later when we're doing the spoiler discussion. Set up pretty well. Audio's good for everybody, right? Whatnot and TikTok, you guys like the audio? All right then. What's going on? Hutheads, it's Joba's Hut from Joba's Palace. Here with another action figure stream for you. If you've not been here before, this is the way this show works. We have over 500 action figures available, so if you guys are interested in anything, please let me know. We are currently serving multiple audiences. We have YouTube. Our main thing is Whatnot. We're also on TikTok, so those are like the two top tier right now. And then those are the chats that I'm going to be monitoring. And then we're also live on YouTube and Twitch, because that's always what happens when we multicast stuff. So if you're on Whatnot and you guys are interested in any figures, please let me know. If you're on any of the other platforms, you can shoot me a DM on Instagram at Joba's Palace. You can check out our eBay. You can hop over to the Whatnot stream if you want to do that. So we're just trying to stream in multiple places and do cool things for everybody. On the docket for tonight, I have a couple figures that we're going to review. I have like 3 figures that we'll probably open and review. And then we're also going to do the Captain America 4 Brave New World spoiler discussion. And then on top of that, we're going to be selling action figures as well. So please let me know if there's anything you guys are interested in as far as selling action figures or buying action figures. If you see anything that you're interested in, throw it in the chat. Let me know. I'll be doing sweeps of the room. The first part of the show will be dedicated specifically to just showing people figures and seeing if anybody wants anything. And then eventually we'll switch gears and we'll do some action figure reviews and we'll talk about Brave New World. If you guys saw Brave New World, we're going to be spoiling it and talking about it, so hang around. If you have not seen it before, just, keep in mind if you're not interested in spoilers, not to do that. Let me think. Any DC vampires? I don't think we have any DC vampires left anymore. I will point you at DC, though. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way. I did more technical stuff today and less organizing figures so that they're easy for people to figure out what we have. So let's clean some of this up a little bit. And I'll do some sweeps of the room. Oh, I have the Robin. I still have the Robin vampire, if you need him. He's right over there. That one right there. Store is not loaded. Thank you for pulling that out, Prof. There's a couple of Godzilla items I can show off. Today's the 22nd, so our live stream will be the 21st. Okay, the store is loaded for the people on Whatnot if you guys want to look through there. Just a reminder, pretty much all the stuff that we have in the store, the prices you could do, we can definitely haggle it out and figure it out. Everything is just a placeholder price, so don't get any sticker shock for anything. I'll try to figure out a deal that works best for both of us. The best thing that you can do is to pick out multiple items, and I'll try to give you guys a combo deal on something. So just let me know about all that. Doesn't show everything. Alright. I'll have to redo that prop, but I'm not going to get sucked back into that right now. So, Prof, I have the, this little guy. What is it? Something Island. It's like the baby one from, like, early in the movie. Or, like, the teenager one. It's the mad teenager version of Godzilla. Anything articulated? We have some of the Bandais, but I don't think they're in the room at the moment. So the like the 6-inch Bandai ones, you know what I'm talking about? Not like the super high end ones, the ones that are more in like the $30-ish range. Yeah, I have the one. I have like the most whatever the wave that came out at the top of the year. Oh, actually, you know what? I see one. I see a Godzilla 2004. I can make my way over to it. I'll show that to you. Oh, actually, you know what? Before I do this, just because I'll show you there's boxes everywhere. There's a Godzilla 2004 in there, so let me know if you want to see that one. if it's worth it, but I gotta traverse these in order to do that, so. Let me know if that's worth it for you. For the person that asked for DC Vampires, let me know if you want to see that Robin. I promise you guys a sweep of the room, so I'll do that. So this is all Star Wars over here, and then there's also some like Mythic Legions and some more DC stuff. But there's a lot of Star Wars stuff going on over here, so that's like mostly Black Series. There's a bunch of ships over here. Over here, as we've been looking at, there's all DC stuff. And then up top, there's a variety of other things. For the Marvel, we have all retro carded stuff down here. Oops, sorry. Weird thing again. So I can go through those if anybody wants those. And then we got a bunch of Marvel stuff over here. And we work our way through the shelves. So you guys let me know if any of that catches your eye. And then for G.I. Joe, there's a bunch of G.I. Joe stuff as well. I can reorganize some stuff so it's easier for you guys to see stuff. What did he say? He's saying, is the arm set legs move? Yes. We'll take a look at them for sure. Let me just clean some of this stuff up so it's not impossible to maneuver in here. Oh, you know what? There also is a giant King Ghidorah in here. If anybody has any suggestions for, like, copyright-free lo-fi type music that might be Marvel or Star Wars themed, please let me know. Because we had the Star Wars one that we used for a long time, but then they, like, muted a lot of our YouTube content. So if anybody on either platform has any suggestions for that, definitely let me know. Just go to SoundCloud. Okay, we'll figure that out in a minute, Prof. Or if you want to shoot me, like, a link or something, I'll just run it. Because I don't want it to be quiet, but I also don't want us to lose content. I also want to be able to run it on like an app on the TV, so I'm not like using the computer for it. The computer's already doing enough right now. Oh, you know what? I forgot to grab the Build-A-Figure pieces. That would have been smart. Alright, let's see what we got for Gogeta. Okay, so this is the 2004. That's the 2004 Godzilla. So as far as articulation, I mean, those legs move, those arms move. I can't really tell if the elbow goes. Let's see. There's the other figures from the wave. So we actually have both of these. I just need to find the Mechagodzilla if you're interested in it. Is he 5-inch? I would say he's probably closer to 6, but I'll have to open him to figure that out. The problem is I haven't opened one of these yet, that's why, so I'm not like as familiar. But I see he definitely has shoulder articulation. He's not like static. How much? I would just do him for like 30 bucks. Yeah, I have 30 on him. And that was the in-person price, so I'm not even upcharging for like a fee or anything. I mean, if you want to grab him, and then we can review him tonight. If you want that, and then you'll know what it is. But that's up to you. Find the Mechagodzilla? Yeah, I'll find it for you. Now, it might have gotten split up when we were packing up the store, so let me check this bin first. Oh, I have the hold on. The Mechagodzilla is not in this bin, so I can double check for you on that one. But this is the 2023, which is the -0 version. So this is the wave actually. So we have the -0 version here, and then I have the 2004 that I just showed, and then we do have the Mechagodzilla. I just need to find it for you. Yeah, I could do it for 30. That's cool. Alright, so I'll stack those two, and then when I find the Mechagodzilla, I'll let you know. I'm just worried that it's in the garage and it's not in here, because not everything was pulled in here. The majority of stuff is in the garage because there's just too much stuff. So we gotta, in order to make this room functional, we have to leave a lot of stuff in the garage at the moment. But then let me show you the big bopper for the Godzilla stuff. Special version. The big old Ghidorah. The SH Monster Arts. Oh no, sorry, this is the Haya, my bad. This is the Haya. This is the Haya. Hey, how are ya? Hey, how are ya? Is the back any different? Here's a look at the back. That's a dope Mechagodzilla. That is the only Haya. I might grab some more when, like, the next round of stuff comes out, but that was the one that was, like, available on Entertainment Earth when I had some affiliate credit, so I grabbed it, and figured I'll either sell it or keep it. Huge. Yeah, this will definitely be, eventually, if I decide to just open it and review it, I want to take a look at it for sure. But I've never opened it before, so it would definitely be one of those, like, touch and go reviews. Like all of them aren't like that, but, yeah. So, that's the Ghidorah. Put him back in the corner over here. He's right over there. Yeah, that is the MonsterVerse version. It's from King of the Monsters. It's I don't have any that's it. That's it. We don't have anything else like that. That's just crazy. Alright, as always, if anybody else has any requests, throw it in the chat and let me know. Yeah, I'll confirm the Mechagodzilla and then I'll put it together for you. I'll leave these two on the desk for now. Well, I'll put them in the other room. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll confirm all that, and then I'll get back to you on Instagram or something. And we can figure it out. I'll set up the shipment for you. Alright, if anybody else has any other requests, please throw it in the chat. Eventually we're going to get to the spoiler discussion. How much is the Super 7 Green Ranger? The Super 7 Green Ranger is 70. 70. Now remember that the Super 7 stuff does retail higher, so we have it at 70. It's a good lookout. I'm so happy that everybody has the same perspective now across all platforms. Avi, you here? You know, I just wanted to go over geeky video type things with him. That's all. It's all good. Alright, if anybody else has any other requests, let me know. I'll do another sweep of the room for you guys. So this is all like G.I. Joe stuff. So we got some newer stuff over here. We sold the Leatherneck yesterday, but this is all like mostly newer stuff. Including the Saw Viper. We got the Night Force 2-pack. We have Xandar in stock. And then we have that Mail Away Starduster. There's some more over there. And there's this shelf. That's a little break because there's Marvel Legends. I have like some extra Marvel Legends I wanted on display. And then there's more deluxe stuff up here. And then let you guys chill on Marvel for a little bit again. Checking out this time. Yeah, it's over there. The Haya King Ghidorah. He's sick. How do I do this? Right. Samar, we have so much stuff. And it's not even like everything that we have in the room at the moment. Like, I have so much shit. So, I mean, look through the store, and if it's not something that we don't have immediately available, I can figure it out for you. But here's, like, the Star Wars section. Let me just take a step back so you guys can see, like, what this room actually looks like. So this is, like, all different shelves. I can't even put it all in frame. All different shelves of figures. I do not have a King Kong at the moment. No, sorry. My question is, can I put SoundCloud on this TV? I guess not. Alright, whatever. Won't worry about it. I'll just jump over to YouTube and throw something on. What Star Wars ships are those in the cardboard? So, it's the Black Squadron and the Red Squadron. So it's Micro Galaxy, and you're getting like a full squadron of X-Wings and a full squadron of TIE Fighters. This is the Battle Over Coruscant set. This is the Phantom. And then this one is the ZV-11, I think. Let me see. The V-19 Torrent, sorry, just making up numbers. V-19 Torrent. So these three items were mail-away items. Like they were not mail-away. They were Jazzwares items. The Phantom is compatible with the Ghost, yes. That's the purpose of the Phantom. There's a Phantom, and then there's a Phantom 2. And they are compatible. It shows it on the back of the package. If it's the Micro Galaxy Ghost, yeah. And if anybody's after a Ghost, we do have one in stock. It's just not in the room at the moment. Yeah, no, they're smart. I like that. They do a good job with that line, overall. So, what do you guys think as far as like this aspect ratio on whatnot for you guys? Is this like worse than the other streams because it's not like more of like a full screen experience when you go 16:9, or is the like camera quality better with the zoom ins and zoom outs and the overall quality? It looks like I'm looking at it. Well, that's what happens when, like, we're just kind of, you know, doing things like this. As long as I'm moving around, you know what's happening. But, yeah. But is it, like, you know what it's like when I do it on, like, my iPad. It's, like, more of, like, a full screen experience, right? So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Because I don't want to, like, I want everything to look good across all platforms. That's like my goal. But I'd rather do full screen because we want to do. I want to, like the widescreen camera. I want it to look good for like the reviews and stuff. Like I have the upgraded camera. I'd rather use it, but I don't like shooting things in 16:9. Like if I want to decide to do that later, I can always just edit it that way. So I don't know. I feel like this is like the way to go. I mean, the way it's set up on TikTok looks awesome. At least I'm pretty sure it does. Let me double check that. It's tolerable. Well, the problem is that they won't let me do widescreen on whatnot. And it was kind of like creating a problem where I couldn't get the quality that I wanted. And I'd rather stream on multiple platforms. That's the thing about all of this, always, is that I would rather be on multiple platforms and have this content everywhere, and then if we're gonna stream a couple hours a week, be able to, like, take advantage of it. Because if we're just sitting around and nobody's buying anything, I'd rather us program other things. Like we're going to do the Brave New World review tonight, and we're going to do more action figure reviews. And then like yesterday we did a bunch of figure reviews, and we did the Marvel Legends stream. So I'd rather it like be more, if we're going to spend the time doing it, I'd rather everybody get something out of it, right? What is it? I feel like this follower goal thing just keeps getting bigger. It's so big. Yeah, he gets this up there. It's honestly a little bigger. Let me redo this crop. Can somebody type something like really long, like a very long message on whatnot? Oh, you know what? I can do that. What am I doing? Okay. So once again, if anybody's after anything, let me know. There's a bunch of action figures available. So throw it in the chat. Let me know what you're after. If you're on TikTok, we're going to do some reviews in a little bit. So hang out with us and enjoy. Now I want some images. Actually, this should all be on. Alright. I made an album for this, right? Double pack Cosmic Legion. That's the newer buck they're using, right? Hold on 1 second. So this is the set that we have for Cosmic Legion. This is the Amazing Alien and Creature Creator set. This was the Legion's Con exclusive. Here's a closer look at the figure so you can see like the buck. And then here's a look at the back. Let me know if you're interested in this one. I can't directly answer your question just because I haven't been opening a lot of the more recent stuff. But, yeah, if you're after it, let me know. Yeah, it's all good. It'll be... I'll be looking. I'm not gonna look around right now because it's probably in the garage. So I don't think it's in the room. I think it's in the garage, so I can't really like leave my post for it. So we'll do it this week. Once again, if anybody has any requests for any action figures, please let me know. You guys are looking at some DC stuff right now. We also have that Cosmic Legion's plaque front and center, since that's what somebody asked about last. Yeah, the proportions look good on YouTube. What up, YouTube fans? If you guys want anything, let me know. You guys can always hit me up like on Instagram or anything you're after. We might switch gears in a minute and do the spoiler cast. Depending on who's around to do it. What up, Kanye? How you doing, dude? Once again, if you guys have any requests, throw in the chat. Let me know. Let's try to show you guys something else. Pack 2 Marvel. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. I'm just gonna take a piss. Alright, I'll do another sweep of the room for you guys. If anybody wants anything, let me know. So you really can't read that shit. What up, monkey? Did you see my message? That was to you, right? Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, that was you, monkey. Yeah, I couldn't find the sentry. No, we do not have any SH figure arts in stock, sorry. If there's something specific you're looking for, feel free to shoot me a DM, and I'll keep an eye out for it. Check. check, 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 check. You guys should be able to hear me fine. Is that too loud? Or is that, like, good? For whatnot? Because this too loud? Can you hear me clearly if I'm just over here hanging out, like, facing the complete opposite direction? Can you guys hear me talking? Of course, I can scan some Black Series for you. Let me get these guys out of the front. So down here we have from left to right. There's what is that? This is a Stormtrooper. This is a Mandalorian Privateer. Shriekhawk, Imperial Armored Commando. This is a Padawan Obi-Wan. Cal Kestis. Ayla Secura. This is the Yoda with Commander Gree 2-pack. Here's a Night Owl. This is a Super Battle Droid, and then there's the Cal and B2 Emo over there. And then I have the, what's it called? The poster, Darth Vader. And then there's a Mama Nadan, the Galaxy's Edge version guy. I forget his name now. Over there. So like Antiquities guy. Up here, here's the center. You can pretty much see everybody in the center. But there's a Shin Hati. There's both versions of Shin Hati that have been released. There's the most recent Balin with the soft goods cape. Robe. Incinerator Trooper, Figure and Dan, Nolan Cheel. Nolan Cheel is the deluxe one. He's a little bit hard to find. Bastila Shan, Enoch, and Night Trooper. Darth Maul. Some Bad Batch. Camino Clone, which is really hard to find. The Umbra Trooper. There's a Sev over there. There's a couple more clones in the corner over there. There's both versions of clones. There's a Phase 1 and a Phase 2 clone up there. And then there's the Darth Maul with Speeder is right there, and the Super Battle Droid, and then we have the Stap with the Battle Droid up there as well. So let me know if any of that caught your eye for the Black Series stuff. We have some more, it's just not immediately available at the moment. But if there's something specific you're looking for that I didn't mention, please throw it in the chat or shoot me a DM, and if we have it, I will grab it for you. How much on Armored Commando, Bastilla, and Camino, Colin? Armored Commando. We got the Camino. We got the Bastilla here. And then the Armored. One second. Those are the three, that's about right. How much for each individual? Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm going to get you the prices right now. First, I just want to check if I have listings. Armored. Okay, gonna lower the price on the Armored. I'm gonna say that the Armored is 30. Bastilla. Bastilla, I had her at 55, but that seems a little high. Let me just double check her value for you and try to give you a better deal on that. And then I will give you the individual prices, and then I'll give you like the combo deal price. Okay, yeah, she's more of like a 40. So the Armored Commando is 30, she's 40, and then the Camino. I would say Camino's like a 40 as well. So it's from left to right. The Armored Commando is 30, and then the Bastilla Shan and the Camino clone are 40 each. So it'd be 40, 80, 110. I would do 100 for the 100 for all three. 40 plus 40 plus 30 is 110 minus 10. Let me know if you want me to run them as a bundle for 100 even, which is a good deal on that set. Or if you want to make edits, or if there's anything else you're looking at, you just let me know and we'll figure something out for you. In the meantime, I will do this. I'll just kind of do a run. Run it if you want it for 100 even. So this is everything that is in front of you right now. These three for 100. Hold Bastilla. I see you have DC and DC Vampire. So the only vampire that I have left is the Robin. I'll show you. Alright, let's leave Bastilla out here. I'll put these guys back. Leave Bastilla here. For the... Oh, let me point you at DC. Here's the DC shelf. The ones that are laying down is the Platinum Metallo, Simon Baz Platinum. You can't see that. Simon Baz Platinum. There's the Hal Jordan Gold Label. And then as we work our way over to this one. This is the only vampire I have left. The Vampire Damien. Okay, sorry. I needed to catch up on what you're saying. So let me know if you want any of these other ones. There's a lot of platinum variants on this shelf. Like predominantly platinum variants. So let me know if any of that other stuff catches your eye. I'll leave it on DC for a minute in case you want to see any of them. Let me know if you want me to pull anything. So we have Bastilla stashed. Oh, there's also the Dig and Guerra. I don't know if you need him. And the two DCs that we actually moved out of the way were the Batman and Ace set. And then the Batman Beyond. This is the neo-gothic version. Is this delayed? Yeah, it's definitely delayed. Oh, it's actually not that delayed. Once again, if anybody has any requests, please put in the chat and let me know. So it's gonna let me know if anything else caught your eye and you wanted to do like a combo deal with that bestseller. Are you into like Marvel at all? I don't even know if he's still here. Here's Marvel stuff again, guys. What up, Seth? What's going on out there? What we need a couple people in here so that we can do the spoiler discussion. Welcome back, Avi. Alright, I think maybe we should switch gears and do the spoiler discussion while people are here to actually like take part in it. So let me decide what I want my background to be. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks for the update, Avi. Appreciate it. Alright, so I think what I'll do is I'll do like that's funny, I already have one of those. I can just transform this and doesn't it offer everything? This is so fucking annoying. Alright, well actually there's nothing for that, so there's still like this. There. Alright, whatever. Who's here? Anybody here? Just getting into it anyway. Yeah, make chat a little bit bigger. Like this. I gotta put myself centered. Thank you, Damien. It's so funny that I'm like trying to line this up across multiple things. That looks centered. Alright, can you guys hear me okay over here? If I'm not facing the camera, I just realized I'm not facing the fucking camera. Yeah, but can you hear me okay? Because I just realized if I'm gonna keep this background that I wouldn't be able to move the camera. So the volume is good enough. I'm just gonna jack the volume up. Almost everywhere. Volume sounds good? Okay. Alright, let's see how that goes. Alright, so we're gonna have a little. Let me do a little intro then. What's going on? Hotheads, Joe the Hut from Joba's Palace. Whoa. Here with a Captain America Brave New World Spoilercast. So, if you guys haven't seen the movie yet, might not want to be in here because we're going to be talking spoilers about it. So, overall, I just want to take everybody's temperature and hear what they thought about the movie, what they enjoyed and stuff like that. I was going to kind of do like a work our way through the movie with a plot synopsis, and then we can kind of like stop and discuss things as we go. So, and just a reminder to everybody, this is Joba the Hut from Joba's Palace. Our bread and butter is action figure sales. So as you can see all around us, there's all action figures everywhere. So if you guys are after anything, please let me know. Yeah, like we have over 500 figures available. We stream multiple nights a week. We're currently live across multiple platforms. We're on YouTube, TikTok. We're selling stuff on Whatnot. We're on Twitch as well. All this stuff will be archived on YouTube and TikTok, and we'll do like breakout videos and all that stuff. But if you guys are after anything, give us a follow on Instagram at Joba's Palace. That's the best way to get a handle of us, or just join one of our streams and come hang out with us. Yeah, that's what's going on with that. But let's talk about this movie, Brave New World. So this movie, it's very interesting because coming into it, you were always like, first of all, I love the Captain America movies. I think we all know from a solo movie perspective, Cap always had the best movies. First Avenger is one of my favorites. I think it's kind of a underrated movie, but I love it. I rewatch it all the time. Always have a lot of fun with it. And then, obviously, Winter Soldier is arguably the best film in the MCU. Like, that's definitely up for debate, whether it's number one or in the top 3 or top 5 or whatever. For me, I typically put it at the top. I think as a movie overall, it just is like a perfect movie, and it's just so much fun to watch. Love the Winter Soldier, all that stuff. Great chemistry between ScarJo and Chris Evans, all that stuff. Third one, Captain America Civil War, is basically an Avengers movie. Russo's coming back for their second turn at it, and it's just like very heartbreaking finale. You kind of don't know what's happening the whole time, but there's plenty of action mixed in between, a lot of intrigue, a lot of stuff like that going on. All the espionage aspects of Captain America are really cool. Sorry, just want to fix this. And then we come to this fourth movie where we know what's going on is we did Falcon and Winter Soldier on Disney Plus, which we need to talk about that first. I was gonna rewatch it, but I just didn't have enough time to do it. I think overall it was a good series. I liked the chemistry between Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan. And overall it was probably one of the better Disney Plus shows. But, I mean, there were some weird things, like, did we really need to bring back Carly Morgenthau? I didn't really, like, care about that character as much. I mean, they kind of made it seem like they were going to be the big bad, and then they weren't, and then, whatever. I'm a little cloudy on that one, because I didn't actually do the rewatch ahead of time, but basically we know where we're at. Cap left the shield to Sam. Sam kind of was like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for this. Let the government take it. And then it's his path to becoming, getting to a place where he feels like he can actually be Captain America and take up that shield. And then there's a really good finale. He gets the wings from Wakanda and all that stuff. So we're on a continuation here. We have our setup. So, into the actual movie Brave New World. So I'll point out in the beginning, and you guys probably know this already from like other streams or whatever, no Marvel Studios fanfare here. So that whole like Marvel Studios like thing that they do in the beginning. They didn't do that. They just said like Marvel Studios presents, and then it went into like the jazzy espionage music that we're used to. The title just said Brave New World. It did not say Captain America on it. So very interesting choices at the beginning. The opening scene, I really like the artistic shot that they did with Ross. He's like about to go out and do a speech. This is like a couple months, I think it's like 2 years prior to when the movie takes place, when he's like actually campaigning to become president. The director is Julius Ona, by the way. I really like the choice that he made, because there's a whole thing, and if you go back and rewatch it, this scene, there's all these like reflections that are happening, like in the area that he's in. And the first time I watched it, I thought that they like snuck like the red of his tie to like into the reflection, but it ended up just being like Harrison Ford's face in the reflection. I feel like it would have been a nice choice to add maybe that into it, but I do like the way that it was like kind of symbolizing like this metamorphosis for him. Like he's trying to escape his past and redeem himself. There's like all these different versions of himself in the reflections and all that stuff. It's very quick, and I know that I'm reading into this a lot, but I just thought it was a really nice choice by the director. I actually watched it twice in opening night. I watched it twice. Yeah, I should have let off with that. So there is going to be spoilers for Brave New World. I'm gonna get to like rating it at the end. I kind of just want to do like plot synopsis and stuff now. Overall, I did like it, so that's fine. But if you guys don't want spoilers, just know that we're going to be spoiling the movie. I'm basically going to run through most of the movie for you guys. Anyway, so I like the symbolism that they did with that. It would have been nice if that thing that I thought happened with the red of his tie, but it was still cool. And then he's on the phone with Betty. He's not on the phone with Betty. He asks his aide if Betty called, but there's no word from her. And then he gives a speech to seal his presidential victory. He mentioned the Celestial Island. I'm happy we let off with Harrison Ford here. He's a huge star. He's really good at setting atmosphere, and he's somebody that we all pretty much respect. So it was a good way to open the movie, for sure. Alright, so then there's a time jump to present day, where Ross is already president. But we're with Sam and Joaquin. So Sam is on a mission to recover the adamantium stolen from Japan. Sam and Joaquin have some nice little quips here. Not all of them land, but they have decent chemistry. I know that some people, like, Joaquin was a very divisive character in this movie. Some people absolutely hated him. Other people loved him. So he's kind of like, I thought that I wish they would have given him more to do in the TV show, and that would have set us up a little bit better. But hold on, let me see if I can get some more pictures going for you guys. momentum here. Oh, it's not flying this one. There we go. Anyway, so yeah, I like the chemistry between them. There were some quips like now. Okay, so now it's not fresh in my mind anymore. But there was one where like, what did he say? He said, I don't remember what he said, but whatever. This is why I should have done this right after I saw the movie, because I don't remember the line. I should have written it down. But I wrote down plenty of stuff here. So anyway, Cap drops in. I really like his move set. Anyway, I think that like his action is really cool and entertaining. Hold on, I'm really getting annoyed by the fact that this thing does not want to play. There we go. When he drops in and he does like the supersonic gust and stuff, he's like, wait for it. That's really cool. The fact that he has the Black Panther like absorb and release the energy thing, that's dope. I think that the wings are like so cool. Why is this like this? This is supposed to be all of these pictures, and it's only putting one picture. Hold on a second. Let me not lose momentum here, but fix this. I wanted this to look good. Okay, that was good. Give you guys this back. Alright, cool. Now we have our posters, rotating posters. That's what I wanted for this. By the way, a lot of the posters I did for this movie are awesome. Anyway, so we have let me just reset. I think the Cap's moveset is awesome. I really like the gust that happens when he drops in. The Wakandan tech on the wings is really dope. We didn't get to see as much of it in the TV show, so it's nice that we got a lot more of it here. He has the like explosive burst that Black Panther had. Getting distracted. Stupid thing. Anyway. Yeah, it's cool that the wings are made out of vibranium. The tech is really cool. They're pretty much indestructible. We see that, there's a little bit of foreshadowing happening for later in the movie with how he does his moves and stuff. And it was really nice to see this on the big screen instead of a TV show. We only got to see those wings at the end. And it would have been nice if we got a little bit more of that, but we got plenty of it in this movie, and I think that it was dope. Red Wing is back. He shows off some cool tricks as well. You can see a lot of that in the Hulk fight later on, but it's just nice the way he's like opening doors for him, and then they work together to take out the guy that has the hostas and stuff eventually. And then we got our first look at Giancarlo Esposito as Sidewinder. He has a decent subtitled monologue here, and then he kind of just speaks like there's somebody on, like he has a decent monologue going on. It's in a different language. It's in subtitles. Like that's fine. It is what it is. He's good at delivering those lines and all that stuff. And then they're just over the loudspeaker. There's like someone speaking in English saying like the Americans are here, and it's just like kind of brought you out of it. It was kind of a weird moment that they did it like that. I feel like we could have stuck with subtitles and just had them. Yeah, exactly. It's like a weird like he's doing his Spanish thing, but then we come in and then somebody's just speaking English like out of nowhere. It's like, shouldn't this team just speak like one language? Like, it's just weird. Anyway, but yeah, I'm wondering if that has something to do with like the overall plot, like later on, where we learn like who's behind things and all that stuff. It would have been interesting to see what the Seth Rollins take on this character would have been. I'm wondering, because they reshot a lot of this stuff, like the church that they're in was like used in Loki apparently. So there were so many reshoots on this movie, and we didn't really talk about the budget yet. The budget, they said, was $180 million. A lot of people speculate with all the reshoots because they basically made like 2 different versions of this movie and then released this version. So it's like this version of the movie was $180 million, but they had to do all these reshoots and they scrapped like a complete movie where Seth Rollins and a bunch of other actors were in it, being in like the Snake Society and all that stuff. So don't really know what happened there, but it would have been nice to see that take. Maybe we'll get some more footage, like when they release the Blu-ray or something like that. But yeah, like Avi's saying, budget is probably like double. What do you say? Because of the reshoots. Yeah, that's what's going on with that. But it would have been nice to see Seth Rollins in there. It kind of sucks for him that he didn't get to be in this big Marvel movie, but maybe we'll get some footage of it someday. Yeah, so that was Giancarlo. Okay, so now, basically, after they meet Giancarlo Esposito, the Americans are here. Now it's like there's 2 separate objectives going on. Somebody has to track down Sidewinder, and somebody has to get the adamantium. So now there's another fun exchange between Sam and Joaquin here, where convinces Sam to let him suit up as Falcon. He basically tells him like not to die. He's like, "Oh, don't die, got it." All that stuff. So that was fun. I like that. Good Danny Rodriguez stuff. He's good there. He finishes Joaquin's sentence. It's a great Big Brother moment. Like I said, the "don't die" line, all that stuff. It's a good recurring bit that they have there. Once again, Falcon gets to show off some moves, including his wrist gun. So he has that like shooty gun that he has on his wrist. And he takes down the bad guys. Apparently there was another version of this scene that they took out of the movie that was released on YouTube where it's like the same type of setup, but then there's like a guy that like just drives off like into the bushes like for no reason. I heard. I didn't actually see the footage, but I heard it was like ridiculous. So interesting marketing. Like you can see all the posters that we have below us right now are really awesome posters that I picked out because I thought that they were awesome. But then there was just like some weird like other stuff going on that didn't really make sense. And then if you guys want this big Harrison Ford Red Hulk standee right here, it's available on AMC Shop. So go ahead and grab that. I'm sure your loved ones will love you having that in the house. This was sick though. This awesome little like trailer thing. Anyway. Yeah, so there's that Falcon scene, and then he does the little dance. So this is also a very divisive part of the movie. So he takes out the guys that are on the motorcycles and stuff, and then he does the little dance, and then like he's like, "Oh, nobody saw how cool that was," and stuff. So it's like, this is the moment right here where you're gonna decide whether you like this character or not. This is like a big moment for him, because are you okay with the comic relief that he's offering you here, or do you think it's cheesy? That's basically what it is. I thought it was a nice moment. I thought it was funny. So it is what it is. Yeah, okay, so Avi's saying that there were a lot of big laughs for that part in his screening. Yeah, I don't remember like too many reactions in my screening, honestly, but I thought it was funny. So it is what it is. So then we go back to Sam, who's chasing down Sidewinder, and then he has backup in the form of Copperhead, who's just like a big fighty dude. It felt like he was giving off like Super Soldier vibes, but he wasn't. I didn't know if we were gonna like go back to this plot of like we have to deal with Super Soldiers again. I'm happy they didn't go back to it. They have like this whole thing where Sam is debating whether he should have taken the serum or not, and there's like a couple funny jokes around that and stuff. But I'm happy that we didn't go down that road that we're fighting Super Soldiers again. Yeah, IMDb says he's Copperhead. You wouldn't know because they never refer to him as Copperhead, but I had to look it up, and on IMDb it says that he's called Copperhead. there's a good fight scene here, a lot of quippy dialogue, very like Spider-Man-esque type stuff from both combatants. Powering through the church. This church scene is the one that I said that they reused the set from Loki, and it's been used for a bunch of things. And then like he gets power bombed through the church pew, and the guy says, "Are your ribs snap? Need a minute?" Which is funny. But this fight also, yeah, it was Copperhead. This fight also, I like that we're setting up stakes with Sam in this fight. He doesn't have the super soldier serum. He can potentially get beat. It brings us back to like, you're just not overpowering everybody. In Winter Soldier, we saw Cap jump out of a building, land, get up, jump out of a giant building, the Triskelion building, halfway through that, so many floors up, land on the ground, crack into the ground, get up, run away, and then use his shield to dismantle a giant Quinjet that was trying to kill him, and then ride away in a motorcycle. Sam has his wings, but he doesn't have superpowers like that. So it's nice to have a character that, once again, we have stakes for. So I think that was very humanizing for him, this fight right here. It sets up a good like precedent. Yeah, when he's not using his tech, he can take some hits. But once again, he has a cool moveset, and then sets up... He does that like thing where he like brings him back and then brings him forward and hits him in the head with the knee, and that was like his comeback to finish the fight and stuff, which is really cool. It shows how formidable Sam is, and how basically just talented he is even without the super soldier serum. So it's once again we're going on this debate throughout the whole movie whether he should have done it or not, and like this is a good reason why not to. Anyway. Yeah, said the Seth Rollins thing. This is probably the part where they would have had more Super Servant Society stuff to set things up. Anyway, the mission is a success. Word is sent to the president, and he's relieved. He mentions he needs the Celestial Treaty to go through, so his first 100 days look good. He clearly wants to repair his legacy. So once again, another humanizing moment for two of our main characters here. Post-mission, there's a Navy SEAL. His name is Dunphy. He mentions his brother. There's something going on here with a character. I don't remember who it was, because didn't really look into it. But, yeah. So, I like that character, though. He's, like, a really cool, nice guy. He's got to be from the comics. He mentions his brother. Good back and forth between Sam and Joaquin again. Joaquin wants to learn like the advanced moves. This was kind of like a weird little bit of dialogue because it's kind of like an inside baseball thing that we have here where there's a specific move or move set that Joaquin wants Sam to teach him, but I'm not gauging what they're talking about when they're talking about this. It was a nice setup for like their relationship and stuff, but I feel like it kind of went over some of our heads as to what exactly the move that they're talking about is. When they go back to it later in the movie, I think you have a better grasp of it, but it was kind of like weird. Anyway, this is just setting us up to go train in Maryland with Isaiah Bradley. So Isaiah Bradley is back. This specific scene, I will say, this one is the one that really reeked of reshoots with me. Because we see throughout this movie that Isaiah Bradley does an awesome job acting with this character. Carl Lumley. He did a really good job delivering a good performance with this character. But he like has this weird line where he says, "They locked me up for 30 years and experimented on me." Like real quick. Like here's like very expositional dialogue, but also delivered with like not really too much emotion either, just kind of like an aside, like, oh yeah, they experimented on me. I was in prison for 30 years. Like, I was the old Captain America and all that stuff. Like, if you didn't know, or you didn't watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you'd be like, okay, thanks for that, dude. Yeah, it's very, in case you missed it, expositional dialogue, not delivered especially well. The best part of this is Joaquin taking off the stock screen protector thing off of his phone. That was a really funny moment. Anyway, The scene gets better, though, when Sam and Isaiah square off on what can only be described as just a random one-on-one game of flag football. Like, so random, but it gives you the opportunity to see, like, how formidable Sam is dealing with a super soldier. He shows off great athleticism in this scene, snatches the flag twice, but then he gets decked by Isaiah, so it's kind of like that trade-off of you can't have him win every time. And then he gets a call from the president, and Isaiah storms off. So Isaiah's not liking this. We jump cut to Sam and Isaiah talking privately, and then he does this scene. Now we transition into, which I'm wondering if maybe since this is in a different area, maybe this was originally shot, or maybe they just like had a better part of the script for this part. You can tell they cut off a lot of leaving included scenes. Yeah, I gotcha. We can get to some G.I. Joe classifieds in a little bit, but right now we're doing our spoiler cast for Brave New World. Anyway, yeah, he says, it just doesn't sit right with me, Cap taking orders from President Ross. We plant the seed here that Isaiah does not like Ross. It's good foreshadowing here. Or he knows that Ross has like a reputation for being like a hard ass and like doing fucked up stuff. There is some probably reshoot dialogue in here, but it's not as bad as the previous scene. Sam reveals him and Joaquin have been asked to come to the White House, and he said the only way he'd come. Jesus Christ! I'm like, sorry. Reading a script is not a good idea for me because it totally like screws me up. I'm not used to doing this anymore. I used to do it back in college. Anyway, just so I have the gist of it. So basically, Sam reveals that him and Joaquin have been asked to come to the White House, but he said that the only way that he would come is if Isaiah was invited. And then we get into the whole suit thing. So he says, "You got a suit? Why are you always wearing raggedy sweats?" There's a fun exchange here. But I will say, Isaiah Bradley's houndtooth suit is a thing in this movie. And it's definitely like some questionable choices with the suit. It's funny. It's a nice, endearing thing that we have going on here, but I'll get to what I mean later on. All I'm going to say is that his suit is a thing in this movie. We make it a thing in this movie. And then I'm pretty sure we checked back in with Ross here. He's calling about a prisoner who will be revealed later. Wants to make sure the warden has eyes on him, and he says he doesn't clearly... What? Oh, he said he does. It clearly... They're like just setting up that something's going on here. Tension is building for the next few scenes, and the ominous score is well done here, reminiscent of past Cap films. I'm just going to point that out right before we get here. Back to the crew. They're in the limo. Isaiah has his houndstooth suit on. They're having fun. Everybody's in the limo, popping bottles, all that stuff. Definitely a nice exchange here between these three characters. We can tell that there's some camaraderie going on here. And I just really like the chemistry in this scene. Then they get to the White House, take a selfie. They do the old people joke that the old people are bad at technology. Good exchange between Isaiah and Joaquin here. He tries to airdrop the pic to him. He says it's not working. We get back to this later with my phone is on the fritz type stuff. There's a lot of flashing bulbs, if you notice, in these White House scenes. Not like it's clearly trying to say like there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of distractions happening. There's a lot of light in this room throughout like all of the scenes in the main room of the White House, which it's probably the way that it is in the White House when they have an event like this, so it makes sense. But they really hammer it home that there's a lot of flashing bulbs going on. Clearly intentional and noticeable. Anyway, Sam gets pulled away to talk to the president. We meet Layla here, who is very much a throwaway character in this movie. Would have been nice to have her have more to do, or maybe combine her with another character. That we'll get to later. They're clearly friends. Sam meets up with Ross and he tells him he wants to rebuild the Avengers, even though they've disagreed in the past. This is an olive branch between the two of them. We don't know what Ross's motivation is here, but he says they have to work together even if they disagree. So a very interesting turn of events where he wants them to bring back the Avengers. Layla and Ruth should have been one character. Yeah, that's what I was going to get to. Anyway, so that's a big moment. Now we work our way back into the main room. Sam is introduced into the Japanese leader, maybe the prime minister. I don't know what his title was in the movie. They take a picture together, and the flashbulbs are really intense. Like I'm saying, in the first scene we're in the White House, you can see them, and they were like kind of intense. The intensity of the flashbulbs really picks up in this scene. Like when you're watching it, you get that residual like blinding effect in your eyes like when you watch it. So I think it was really well shot, and they're really like hammering home this like lights flashing thing going on. It's like completely blinding. And it also like when some of the shots happen, it's almost like there's like shapes shown. I don't know. I would have to like really watch it like on Blu-ray or something to like really see if they really sneak anything in there. But like I said, I know I'm really hammering home this flashbulbs thing, but it is important. The director was clearly going for something here. They work their way into the presentation room. Sam tells Joaquin about the Avengers thing, but he says we have to work for him. I don't know what they're doing right now as not working for... They're clearly working for the president already, but it's one of those things where you like cross that bridge when you get to it. Ross starts his presentation about Celestial Island and the treaty to share adamantium. This is good exposition. This is an example of good exposition. If you didn't see Eternals, this is telling you what happened and why this thing is important. If you don't know about X-Men, or if you know about X-Men, you'll get a little bit more out of it. But even if you don't know, you know that this material is really important. We compare it to vibranium. It's better than vibranium. It's the best vibranium. It's better than vibranium. It's the best thing that's ever happened. Oh my god. That type of stuff. A good exposition if you didn't see Eternals. And I'll just point out that so happy that we have an actor like Harrison Ford to deliver this specific speech, because it is going to be important going forward in the MCU for all the reasons that I just mentioned. And it didn't come off as like really shitty expositional dialogue. He nailed it. He delivered it in the right way. So that was good for sure. We get some shots of the island here. They show foreign leaders in attendance. We get our first shot of Ruth in the audience and all that stuff. Alright, all of a sudden music is playing out of nowhere. Isaiah pops up, steals a gun from an agent, and takes a shot at Ross, who is behind glass. He does miss him, though. He didn't actually hit him. Everything happens very fast, but Sam manages to stop and disarm Isaiah. Multiple assassins are in the room. Sam, Joaquin, Layla, and Ruth spring into action. Ross decks one of the dudes, so we get a classic Indiana Jones knockout punch from Harrison Ford here, which was awesome. A really nice touch. So he decks one of the... I'm wondering whose idea that was. I'm wondering if Harrison was just like, well, I would punch one of them, wouldn't I? Like, something like that. Or if it was, like, in the script all along. Ross makes his exit with Layla. And then Ruth shows off some moves. Clearly, she's adept at fighting. Smashing a chair over somebody. That was pretty cool. So now, I will say in this part, there is like a minute or two where Isaiah gets like completely lost in this part. Like I don't know what happens to him, but then he does like eventually turn back up. Like there's like probably like a minute or two where it's just like he just tried to like the only person that interacted with him was Sam, but then Isaiah as a super soldier kind of just gets lost in like all the other fighting and stuff. That was weird. Anyway, lost in the skirmish. Yeah, Ruth tries to take a shot at him, but Sam protects him. Now Isaiah is on the move and super soldiering his way through the White House. He tosses that super heavy table back at a bunch of agents and stuff. That was a really cool moment. Sam catches up to him after he snapped... Oh, my bad. Goes to the super heavy table at a group of guards. Jumps out the window. Sam chases after him, followed by Ruth and Secret Service. Sam catches up to him, and Isaiah is snapped out of his trance, but has no idea what happened. Really, really good acting here. Sam tells him to surrender, and he doesn't even... Sorry, and he does it even though he's afraid to go back to prison. I can't go back, Sam. Heartbreaking performance here by Carl Lumley. Really, really good stuff. You can feel how upset and confused he is. But I will say I'm going to revisit this suit thing, though. Because... And I understand the significance of the suit. Because it's the suit that he got married to his wife in. Who I believe has passed away at this point. So they put him on the ground. And he's just like, careful, my suit! My suit! Like, it's just like, alright. We get it. You like the suit. Like... That's like the only thing he cared about in the scene. He's getting arrested for attempting to kill the president, and he only can... It is funny. It is, but it's just like the balance of like... Alright, it's... It's such a good performance, but then at the same time, it's just like, what is this dialogue that he's like disconcerted about a suit? I don't know, it's just funny. You can feel how upset and confused he is in this scene. Anyway, Sam goes to visit Ross, who is bunkered down. He lets Ruth stay for the meeting, since she's head of security, and they argue over Isaiah's motivations. Ruth says he has a motive. Reminds everybody that he was locked up for 30 years and experimented on. Guys, Isaiah Bradley was locked up for 30 years and experimented on, okay? Just so you guys know. I don't know if you forgot, but I'm just going to remind you one more time. That's what's going on. Sam stands behind Isaiah and wants to investigate himself. Ross denies it. He says it's a bad look. Sam says, so I'm done then. And then Ross says, you're done, like Vince McMahon would say it. And reminds him he's not Steve Rogers. So, Sam storms off. Leo tries to calm him down, but he's not having it. Drives off to visit Isaiah and interrogate him on his own. Isaiah denies knowing what happened. Sam says he needs more information. Isaiah goes over the events leading up and mentions his phone was on the fridge, which is a key detail here. Sam believes him and tells him it's not his fault. Isaiah says he doesn't want this to affect Sam. Breaks down and tells him he wants to... Oh, if he wants to help him, don't come back. Really good acting here. Very emotional scene. You can tell how much that Isaiah cares about Sam and vice versa. But probably one of the probably one of the best acted scenes in the whole movie. There might be some Harrison Ford scenes that match it, but I think that this is like one of the best performances in the movie for sure. Really good scene here. Sam touches base with Joaquin, who hacked into the White House CCTV system. He discovers footage of Isaiah and other assassins having lights shine on their faces from their phones. So clearly something's going on here. While driving, Sam's car is attacked by Sidewinder. Okay, so now this is the big re-emergence of Giancarlo Esposito here. So, this is a cool scene. He shoots at him, he crashes his car, and then he throws the grenade. And then he's on the phone with somebody, and he's saying, like, Moff Gideon popped up in the scene. Oh, no, that's fine. Sorry, I didn't write notes for this part. So basically they end up fighting in, like, this junkyard. He's on the phone with somebody, and then he's, like, confirming kill or whatever, and then he throws his grenade, and then, like, Sam does escape it, and there's some dialogue, it's just like, he said there was a 70% chance that you'd survive the grenade or whatever. So I guess he was just like baiting him at this point, and then Sam like kind of gets him in a position where he has him down, and he's just like, he said that there was a 70% chance that you try to talk me down. So anyway, they end up fighting in this junkyard and stuff. It's a pretty good fight. Sam ends up pouring like acid, which is just laying around on a car battery to create like a smoke screen for himself. And then he's able to do like a cool like double kick. He throws a knife at him, and then he's able to throw like a double kick at him and stuff. Oh, Sam does take a big hit with like a knife in this scene, and it's later revealed that he's basically wearing like vibranium Kevlar. But we'll touch on that later. Ross has a meeting with. Now we're off to Ross because we basically have gotten away from Sidewinder and that stuff. It's kind of weird how we just like jump on from this part, but it is what it is. Ross has a meeting with the other world leaders who are worried about the treaty. Japan has backed out. Ross says he'll get them back to the table. France is just being a real pain in the ass as usual in this. In past movies, we've seen France be a pain in the ass. I don't know why they're throwing their dicks around. So that's a thing going on with France being mean. And then we make our way over to Sam's apartment. Sam's apartment is really cool. There's a lot of cool pictures here. A lot of reminiscing with Steve and Bucky and all that stuff. There's like little art that like a kid gave him. So then when Sam gets stabbed, it does pierce his suit. And it's a reason why we have to switch to a different suit. So he's wearing the white suit at this point. And then he has to switch to the new movie suit, so your latest action figure can then be released. Which I kind of wanted to have that for this review, but I just don't have it. Anyway, they're at Sam's apartment. Joaquin shows him the footage again and all that stuff. And then they basically come to the conclusion that they need to go to the camp that they find, because he's doing like a trace of the call and all that stuff. Sam's apartment is really cool, though. There's a lot of good iconography here. And yeah, so basically we need to move on from here to get to Camp Echo 1 to track down what's going on here. Ruth discovers the same footage, and she goes to the prison. This is where two of the other assassins are murdered by the guard that we saw earlier. So she is now in the loop of, okay, something's going on here. And then she calls Ross. Oh no, Ross calls her and tells her that Camp Echo 1 is compromised. He basically gets the call from the leader, telling him that like he's in charge now or whatever. Anyway, now we're on the road to Camp Echo 1. So we get to Camp Echo 1. Well, they're on their way, and then they find out about the assassination attempt, and then basically they have to make a decision on whether they want to go back and protect Isaiah or proceed and try to get answers. Sam decides to proceed and try to get answers, because that's how you progress the plot. I love the product placement of Sam's big-ass GMC truck throughout this entire sequence, is what Avi says. You gotta have your product placement here. Yeah, so it's a giant truck, and then they're on their way, and then it's nighttime, and now we have to break into the place. So Sam grabs his shield, and there's no other weapons to speak of. I don't understand why we don't have guns. It's not just a truck. It's not just a truck. It's pretty cool that the storage, the front-facing storage, where's the motor? I don't know. It runs on Anthony Mackie's charm, apparently, this truck. But yeah, I don't understand why they don't have guns. It's very strange to me. Maybe we just made the thing too easy, but why wouldn't you take guns for this? Like, I guess if Falcon doesn't want to have it, but at least have like your like wrist shooter thing. I don't know, it's very strange. Oh yeah, by the way, Joaquin said that they needed snacks on the way out. So another Joaquin moment when they're leaving the apartment. So another situation where, do you like this character or not? I think that was funny. If you don't think it's funny, then it's what it is. So anyway, they go into Camp Echo 1 with nothing but a shield and the power of friendship, as Avi says. Joaquin was one of Avi's favorite parts, so there you go. There's a lot he likes in there. Let's see. Yeah, so there's a whole Camp Echo 1 scene. So basically, they work their way down. They get evidence that, like, Ross's information is here, like his EKGs are here, and like everybody's on the wall. And there's a whole conspiracy going on, and then eventually the leader reveals himself. Which, it's one of these interesting things where the leader is on the other side of the door, right? But you can reach to the other side of the door and hit the button that opens the door. Why is that switch so close to this door? And no wonder he took over this whole compound. All he had to do was just reach for the switch. That was a little weird to me. I thought that was very strange. Anyway, the leader kind of explains his whole evil plan here. Sam tries to attack him, but he has that like vibration sound blasting thing come out of the ceiling, which is a callback to Incredible Hulk, because they do use those weapons on Incredible Hulk in the first movie. Yeah, so he kind of is explaining like that Ross is a bad guy and whatever. I'm gonna take him over. He screwed me over. We get to see him and his brain head. So we're explaining the evil plan. Another divisive moment here. So what do you guys think about the leader overall? Because this is now like the big thing that was the big reveal. I just don't get how leader freed himself in this movie, but is still big mad that Ross didn't release him. He could have freed himself the whole time. Yeah, I mean, apparently he's been there since that movie. So he's been there for like 14 years or something like that in the timeline. They've been locked up for a long time. So he has a reason to be bitter, but he also took over this entire compound. Also, there was a blip too, so something going on there. Obviously, saying he thinks that the leader was a weak villain. I think when I watched it, I liked him, but then when you think about it more afterward, you're just like, he's basically the guy that's the bank guy in Dark Knight, who's like, I'm very good at calculations. Like, that's who his character is. So he has all these like different calculations and statistics that he's using to try to push things in a certain way for his big evil plan. But immediately, Sam has thwarted part of his plan because he said, once again, there was a 90% chance that you were going to turn around, and you didn't. So, yeah, okay, I got it. So anyway, now there's a fight scene where they're all fighting with all the army men. What is Joaquin calls somebody something in this scene. That was another moment. I don't know. Calls him like a bitch or something like that. It wasn't that word, but it was something else. Anyway, big fight scene going on here. There's a little bit more action for you. Yeah, once again, I wish we had guns for this, but we'll use the shield and we'll get out of it. And then they're on their way running out, and then they run into... what the hell's her name? Ruth, my bad. They run into Ruth. This is basically where we find out that she's former Black Widow. She's in like a blue outfit. The thing about this character, he calls Ruth a broad. There we go. The thing about this Ruth character is it's just like, I'm not even going to complain about the casting that much because clearly they were going for something with this character. It's just a matter of like the inclusion of her, not realizing how much of a troubled past this character has in the comic. Which, listen, I'm not going to speak like an expert on this one. I had no idea who this character was, but apparently she was like in Hamas. Did you notice Ruth pulls Black Widow-esque scene out of nowhere in between Camp Echo 1 and military base scenes, no explanation at all. Yeah, so they kind of just like, oh no, she's a former widow. Which, I mean, listen, it is a good solution to the problem of having to change who this character is, because the end of Black Widow does set up the fact that there should be more Black Widows out there that have this skill set. So it makes sense. We've seen it with Florence Pugh, and now we're seeing it with Ruth. It's just a matter of, like we said, we needed to make a decision with this character and like understand why she's even around. And I feel like if she was, like Avi said earlier, and the point that I was going to make when we got to this point of the story, why do Ruth and Layla exist separately? It should just be one character. It doesn't make any sense. Like, if we're going to simplify the script for this and try to make it a better movie, then that's what you would do. You would have her be doing something. I don't know. It should have just been Layla, is what Avi's saying. Yeah, they could have gotten good casting out of that one. But they had an original plan for this character, and it just seems like the original plan was probably not a good plan. And then they had to change it, and then they realized how crazy the character was, and they're like, alright, just make her a widow. We don't need to worry about Hamas and all this stuff. Because in this espionage-based political thriller that we're doing, we're avoiding politics. There we go. Anyway... Okay, next we're gonna meet with Japan. Ross meets with Japan after the leader has clearly escaped. Yeah. So, interesting scene here where this is where we first get our cherry blossoms, I think. There's cherry blossoms in this scene. So, the cherry blossoms were a gift from Japan to the U.S., and that's why there are so many cherry blossoms in the White House. And in the Capitol. That's like the actual reason why. And then there's cherry blossoms in this scene, but we're in Japan. So, that's the whole thing. Are we in Japan? I don't even know. I think we're... Because we meet up at Japan's place, and then they have cherry blossoms, too. Japan Prime Minister had the best jaw... Japan Prime Minister had the best jawline in this movie, is what I'll be saying. Anyway, so basically, it's like he meets with Japan, and then they like sell him that they know that the U.S. government basically paid the people to steal the adamantium, and he's onto him, and they're not going to negotiate with him and be part of the treaty. So now it's a race against time to try to get to Celestial Island and harvest adamantium. I don't know. We were all rushing there for a reason. Anyway, back to Sidewinder. So now we're going to have Sam and Joaquin get back to the place where Sidewinder is being held so that they can talk to him. Joaquin cracks the song, basically, or whatever. No, he fixes the part where you would get brainwashed by the light, but if anybody was previously activated by the song... Which I didn't even explain how this works yet. So basically, if you get the light, then you're ready to be brainwashed. Then, if they play the Mr. Blue song, which the Mr. Blue song is a reference to the first Incredible Hulk movie, where he uses the Mr. Blue name in his meetings with Edward Norton, who was the Hulk in that movie, Bruce Banner. So that's your reference there. Jesus Christ, I know. I'm taking so long with this plot synopsis, but at least we get to talk about everything that happens in the movie. Anyway, so we meet up with Sidewinder. Yeah, so Joaquin plays the music over the loudspeaker. This is clearly... It's like the... in The Thing, where they figure out how to figure out who the Thing is, and then they do the thing, and then the guy doesn't turn into the thing, and then eventually the other guy turns into the thing. That's basically what this is, except it's 5 seconds of them playing music. That's what happens. And nobody attacks them, so it would have been nice to have somebody attack them. Anyway. They cracked the mind control. where is it? Sam gets somebody to analyze the pills, but we have to wait 48 hours for that. It's Dunphy that's doing it. We're back to Phil Dunphy from Modern Family. And it's the guy's name is Amadeus. So we're clearly referencing Amadeus Cho here, who was a Hulk in the comics and was more of like a science bro too. He's just like a younger Asian version of Bruce Banner, pretty much. Totally awesome Hulk if you want to look it up. But he was the guy that was analyzing the pills, clearly. Anyway, Sidewinder tells them about the whole plot and everything. They negotiate, some type of thing where we can see him in a future movie. That's basically what we're setting up. They say he's going to be set up in prison, and then he's not going to be set up in prison. He's going to have his own private cell in this prison, all that stuff. So they negotiate that, and then he gives them the information. He gives the information that basically like Ross was prepping him the whole time, and with the pills and all the things. I don't even remember what they talked about. I should have done this the night of, I swear to God, because I stopped taking notes. So anyway, that's where they cracked the mind control, and now we're off to the Indian Ocean to have the air fight. Now this is the highlight of the movie. This Top Gun-esque air fight scene is really cool. So first they go in, Sam has a meeting with Harrison Ford. He basically tells him that he knows what's going on, but Harrison Ford just doesn't want to give up the power in this situation and tell everybody what's going on. And he explains to him that he was dying, and that's why he had Ross make the pills for him and keep him in custody and all that stuff, and keep him locked away because he couldn't afford to lose the pills even after he won the election, because his original promise to the leader was that he was going to let him go if he helped him become president, but then he didn't want to lose the pills. And it's just really more about Harrison Ford's legacy here, because he's just trying to redeem himself in the eyes of Liv Tyler, which, I mean, we all are, right? Pretty much. Yeah. So anyway, now they need people in the air, because two of the Top Gun Maverick people have been... If the MCU had affordable healthcare, this whole plot wouldn't have happened yet, pretty much. I don't want to be like too down on it. I know, I'm just trying to work my way through it. As I talk about it, I feel like I'm shitting on it, though. Anyway. So, yeah, so two of the pilots have been mind controlled, and they're going to attack Japan. So we need some birds in the air, and we got a couple birds right here. We got a falcon, and we got a falcon cap here. And we got Red Wing. Don't forget about Red Wing. It's the best part of the fucking movie. So now we got some birds in the air. So now we got our Top Gun scene where we got to take out these American planes. Japan's super confused about this the whole time. They try to signal Japan. They're not having it. But anyway, they got to de-escalate the situation. So now we're flying around. Really cool stuff going on here. The setting is awesome with the Celestial Island and everything. Flying around over there. We get to see a lot of cool extra moves here. We get to see Red Wing. And Red Wing's got the shield. Red Wing can use the shield. He's the real Captain America, guys. Red Wing is the real Captain America. We need more Red Wing. We need Red Wing for president. He's the dude. That was a really cool scene. I wish we got more of that. They should have showed more of him using the shield. But anyway, they gotta take these planes down, and then there's rockets being fired. The rockets get fired. Sam surfs a rocket into the ocean. They're slowly taking them all out. And then Joaquin kind of gets ahead of himself. He gets to shoot one down, and he's doing a good job. They crash something into one of the ships, but I don't think it actually destroyed a ship and whatever, because it exploded before it got there. So now it's at the point where Joaquin gets ahead of himself. Sam tells him that he's gonna take out the last bomb, the last missile, and Joaquin gets too close to it, and then he tries to blow it up, and then it explodes, and then he gets dropped into the ocean. So now we're like, oh my God, did he die? No, he didn't die, but he's pretty messed up. So that's what's going on there. But they end up, the mission is a success. We've de-escalated the situation. Japan finally figures out what's going on. While this is all happening, Ross in his headset gets a phone call from the leader who has gone to some random like commander's house so that he could steal his phone so that he can get a call through to Ross. He also killed those people. Showed up with his big brain. What do we think about his big brain going on here? What do we think about his big brain? Do you guys like the way that this looked? I mean, I'm happy we went with practical effects. It was a little weird. It was a little weird. It was a little, maybe a little too much. But what are you supposed to do? Because you know you're bringing back this character. You know he has the weird, like, long brain head thing. I guess I like the fact that they did it the way that they did it as opposed to, like, having it just be, like, a long head. Avi wanted the giant forehead. Maybe get, like, some pulsing going on there. It was gross. It was a gross out thing. I don't know. I'm not... I don't think it was perfect, but I feel like it could have been a lot worse than what it was. So, I guess that's kind of the synopsis for this whole movie. So, anyway, we do the Indian Ocean thing. So anyway, he's got him in his ear and he's talking shit. And he's saying, "You a bitch, man. Han Solo should have lived forever." And then Harrison Ford gets really pissed off because Harrison Ford really wanted Han Solo to die, and you can't tell him that Han Solo lives forever. No thanks. I'm about to Hulk out. Anyway, I joke around, but this is a really good scene. He's poking and prodding him. He's trying to get him to Hulk out, and we see like his calves start to grow a little bit. Telltale sign of when you're going to turn into the Hulk. Your calves might grow a little bit. All right. He bends like a pipe, which is really cool, and really good acting by Harrison Ford here. Like starting to lose it. And then he finds out that Japan realizes that everything's cool. They took out the problem that was happening in the air with the two guys, which they didn't kill either of these guys. They got them to eject and all that stuff. So that was cool. Good representation of somebody's blood pressure spiking, and then it's like, okay, cool down. Now we've cooled down a little bit. The next thing that happens is we're in the hospital with watching Joaquin, and then we get our future congressman Bucky Barnes coming in, dishing out the dialogue. He's got it. You cool, dude. People aspire to be you. You didn't have to take the super soldier serum. Even Steve lost a bunch of battles and lost to Thanos and all this stuff. You're cool, dude. You never screwed up that bad. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be good with all this stuff. And then he's like, "Did your writers tell you that?" And he's just like, "Only a little bit. Only like a little bit." So it was a good scene. I liked it. It's kind of like, why isn't he in the rest of this movie? But clearly he's being set up for Thunderbolts. Steve never battled the Hulk, though. He never did. He really never did. Yeah, so nice to see Bucky. And it's just a interesting reveal that he's going to be a congressman. I don't know if this is something that happened in the comics, but clearly they're setting something up. I mean, it seems like what's going to happen is that this is all speculation. I have no idea. It seems like the thing that's going to happen is he's going to be running for Congress, and then he's probably going to lose the election, and maybe there'll be some good scenes in Thunderbolts of them like calling him out for being like basically a murderer for most of his life and all that. And then that's how he ends up on the Thunderbolts team, because it seems like most of the people on that team are going to be like rock bottom people, similar to like Suicide Squad or something, and that's how they end up there. Anyway, it is what it is. Not that that would be Bucky's rock bottom, because Bucky's rock bottom is like a million different things. So. But good to see him. Love the chemistry between Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie here. Always good to see these two together. Then we get to the leader. We're back to the leader. The leader shows up at the base and kills Dunphy, so that we don't have somebody analyzing the pills anymore. But we pretty much know what we needed to know about the pills. And then we have the big podium scene. So President Ross is at the podium. He's trying to explain what's going on and all that stuff. They secured the deal. all that stuff de-escalated the situation. They're still back in talks with Japan and all that stuff. Try to figure things out, but he is getting some criticism here from the press, because that's what happens when you're the president. People ask him some mildly frustrating questions, I guess, and he just freaks the fuck out. But before that, the leader shows up, and he talks to Sam. He just shows up. He clearly doesn't care about getting caught at this point. He's pissed at him for screwing up his evil plan. Everything was supposed to escalate. The Celestial Island. Sam stopped that, but guess what? My plan's not over, because something could happen here. And Sam basically finds out that President Ross could Hulk out at this moment. And then they make a bet saying, I bet you won't stop him. And then Sam's like, I'll take that bet. So anyway, Sam goes off because he knows something messed up is about to happen. And now this is the part where President Ross hulks out. So this is really cool. I mean, we saw a lot of this in the trailer. It's just the thing about this movie, and I think we can just start to generally talk about the movie, because we can talk about the Hulk fight scene and all that stuff. But the fact that this movie is set up to be a powder keg where over time things are happening to push Ross over the edge, and it's a great performance by Harrison Ford throughout and all that stuff. But the problem with that is that we all knew that Red Hulk was going to be in this movie, and we knew that Harrison Ford was playing the Red Hulk. So we knew President Ross was going to Hulk out at some point in this movie. So when you know what's going to happen, I would compare it to, even though I think that this is, actually, it might be similar in quality to this movie, to Batman vs. Superman. So in Batman vs. Superman, if we didn't know that Doomsday was in the movie, that would have been a huge reveal, regardless of if he looks like a freaking Ninja Turtle or not. So at least in this movie, they executed the character, but it sucks when things get ruined in trailers, but they had to market this movie with Red Hulk. They clearly were worried about it making money. They put too much money into it, and it's the main highlight of the movie, really. So they had to market it, but they also had to write it around the fact that everything is leading to this happening at the end. And it's a matter of, I guess we can go back to that old adage of, it's not about the Red Hulk's... no. Sorry. It's not about the ending of the movie. It's about the Red Hulks we meet along the way. What makes President Ross become Red Hulk is what's supposed to be the best part of this movie, and then eventually we get to the end there. So the fact that they had a convoluted kind of plot, which didn't make as much sense, and the leader was an okay villain, well acted for sure. I think that we got a great performance here. Now I'm forgetting his name, but whatever. But his plan was a little weird. I feel like it just he keeps saying, "Oh well, the analytics told me this, the analytics told me that," so that we can arrive at a certain conclusion, and that's just kind of I want to use the word plot armor, but it's not plot armor. It's just a way for you to get away with anything that you want to, so that any coincidence is totally fine. Leader could have just sent an email and not turned himself in. That's true. He could have just CC'd Sam on something. So anyway, this is where we get... Oh no, actually, sorry. Leader kills Dumpy. I did leave out the fact that Liv Tyler does call... Betty Ross calls President Ross in between this part. So he does hear from his daughter. He gets to hear her voice. She didn't initially call him after a million other things happened in the movie, but she's out there. We know that she's around and all that stuff, so that's a thing. Anyway, the leader gets arrested, and then President Ross hulks out. So it's this whole scene where he's at the podium. They're asking him the questions and all that stuff, and then on the loudspeaker, you hear the conversation that Ross and the leader had, and it basically reveals to everybody the whole plot and all the messed up things that Ross did. And this is where he freaks the fuck out. So, most of the scenes that you've seen here from the podium were in the trailers. The transformation of this is really cool. Oh my god, I totally forgot about this one, the other part. I forgot to bring it up. There's a scene early on in the movie where Sam and in the White House, when Sam initially meets President Ross, and he says, I'm surprised, I almost didn't recognize you with your new look. Clearly, like, oh, because he got recast and all that stuff. But they're really referring to his mustache being gone. And he said, either lose the mustache or lose the election. That's what they told me. I guess that's what the leader told him. But then the one scene of them showing Harrison Ford with the mustache freaking the fuck out, like earlier in the movie, through some random footage from a rally that he did, is so fucking funny. Oh my god. I want to get the GIF so I can just use it for every situation ever. It's so funny, guys. In retrospect, if not for Red Hulk, what else could they have showcased in the trailers? Leader is barely shown, and I think it was an odd choice. So I think if they could have hammered home this being a Serpent Society movie and then revealed Red Hulk at the end, but I don't see how they could have gotten away with now marketing this with Red Hulk in it, because he's the coolest part in the movie. And we haven't seen a Rage Hulk in a long time, and that's what everybody wanted to see. So I would think that they were going to use him in the marketing regardless of any of the problems that they had in production. That is what it is. So whatever, sound off in the chat if you think they could have gotten away with not promoting Red Hulk in this movie, but I'm just saying it would be nice for people that aren't as plugged in as we are, that aren't watching all the trailers that come out, not knowing what action figures are coming out. For some of the people, like if my brother watched this movie, he probably doesn't know Red Hulk's in this movie. He's not really plugged in. He watches like UFC and all that stuff. He sees his own Red Hulks every weekend. I just think that it's all about the audience perspective, and when you screw up the audience perspective by telling them what the twist is at the end of the movie, it'll hurt the movie overall, regardless of how good the plot was. Now, we could have gotten a better writing throughout the movie and not had as many reshoots and stuff, and it would have helped, but this is what we ended up with. Anyway, the leader is arrested, and then he hulks out. So now, this is a really cool scene when he hulks out. Obviously, the one lady saying, "They're red now?" Or whatever. It's just like, that was a weird thing. Just run away. Why is everybody standing here? Everybody run. You guys know what a Hulk is. Run away from the Hulk. He's gonna fuck you up. Anyway. Sam shows up with the wings. You can see that like the wings are absorbing some of the things that I think Hulk is like throwing at him. And then we end up on the top of the White House. And there's helicopters shooting at him and stuff. He takes out one of the helicopters by throwing something at him. There's a cool scene where you see the American flag and the Hulk right there. Really cool, like, iconography going on here. And then Sam starts to lure him away from all the people by flying, basically instigating him and then flying away, instigating him and flying away. But Sam flies away in his wings, and Hulk does this jump from the White House to the big penis thing. What's it called? It's not the Lincoln Memorial. It's the other thing. The thing that was in Spider-Man. He jumps from like one building to that, and you can see like in one jump, he's catching up to Sam, who we already saw basically go supersonic earlier in the movie. So Hulks can jump really fucking far. We also had established earlier in this that Sam was able to shoot him with one of his vibranium, like, wing pellet things. And it did pierce his skin. So that is the main difference between Red Hulk and regular Hulk. That you can pierce Red Hulk's skin. His skin, like, gets very hot, though, and burns things, though. So that's actually a comic thing. Anyway, so Sam's jumping away. He's leading him away. And then they end up in the, now I'm forgetting what they're called. What's the tree thing? Sorry, so stupid. Where are the pink leaves again? No, the trees. God damn it. I knew this. The Japanese trees. Oh, sorry, cherry blossoms. I get it. Thank you. I've been talking too long. You can see I'm starting to lose it a little bit. Anyway. So he's leading him towards the cherry blossoms. Because that is where we had established earlier in the movie, which I forgot to mention, he would go for walks with his daughter in the cherry blossom garden. So it's like kind of like it's his happy place. If you've ever seen Happy Gilmore, that's his happy place. So, but Sam shows up like Shooter McGavin, and he's trying to lure him over there, but he's clearly still hulking out and stuff. Really cool fight here. We get the double Red Wing shooting like lasers at him and stuff, which is cool. And then Red Wing gets fucked up. I think only half of Red Wing got fucked up, but whatever. So basically he's like trying to bait him. All these whole things are happening. Every time he gets hit, he's absorbing the blast, which I kind of wish that they would have shown him do the blast like a few more times out of the vibranium wings, so that we like got to see that a little bit more. And like, I know it's key to the final hit, but it's just like a little weird. Anyway, for this scene, all the action is really good, but then it kind of like is a little bit weird at the end, where there's clearly this like, all right, so Sam is able to pierce Red Hulk and then do the concussive blast on him. His wings have been like ripped off. He's about to have his head crushed and all this stuff, and then he's able to stab him and then fire off the vibranium shockwave thing. That puts Red Hulk like down for the count, you think. It's not the end of the movie. Red Hulk gets back up. Sam is walking back towards him, and he says probably the best line in the movie. He says, "Should have taken that serum. Book is full of shit." That one's really fucking funny. That was like the funniest part of the movie. And then, where are we? So then he's able to talk him down and get him. He says, "Cherry blossoms are getting real pink, big guy. Cherry blossoms are getting real pink, big guy." And then he calms him down. I had that line locked in, and I forgot what cherry blossoms are called. Cherry blossoms getting real pink, big guy. And you see one of the cherry blossoms like hit his skin and burn, so you get the burn effect there. And then there's another one that hits his hand, and then it burns, and then he calms down, and then we get these sees Harrison Ford shirtless again. There is a weird queer reshoot thing here where a lot of people have pointed this out, where Anthony Mackie is giving this speech, which is a very important part of the movie, where he talks Red Hulk down, and like it's clearly like that they like green screened him in or something. So this is definitely like some weird reshoot thing. I think even like his haircut might have been like a little bit different. So a very strange part of the movie. For it to be like a main part of the movie, it's like a little weird execution here. Yeah, so that's what happened there, and then we get to so then we go to the raft. We have our conversation with Ross. Now that he's gone down and stuff, we get introduced with Tyler for real here, and then he says, "We're gonna have to take a rain check on those walks to the cherry blossom fields." He's like, "That's okay, Dad. I'll just hang out with Steven Tyler." Or, really, as long as I don't have to have Steven Tyler as my dad, and he tries to steal my ear cartilage and put it in his lips, yeah, I'm fine with that, bro. And then we're done with that. But there is a nice conversation between Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford here, where he like respects the choices that he made, and then Sam basically tells him like your legacy is intact because you did seal the deal on the treaty for Celestial Island and Adamantium. Now, I will say, from a reshoot perspective, when I originally came into this movie, what I thought was going to happen is that I thought that there was going to be... There was an assassination attempt, so that did happen. But I thought that there was going to be an assassination attempt where we, like, thought that he was dead. Like I thought Harrison Ford was actually going to take a shot, because there are scenes in the trailers and in the commercials still that are running right now where they're clearly at some funeral. And there's no funeral in this movie. So I was thinking that, like, the cherry blossom scene was a scene where they were either going to have him die straight up after this, or, like, he gets taken out and then comes back as Red Hulk. Maybe he takes a bullet to the head and then comes back as Red Hulk. Because we know that Bruce Banner survived that too. So I don't know. What I was hoping for this movie is that there was going to be an assassination attempt. He was going to take the hit and then he was going to turn into Red Hulk. I feel like that would have been a little bit more satisfying. I do like the powder keg aspect of the way that things happened, but I just thought that it was going to be something a little bit different. Anyway, so whatever, Liv Tyler is going to visit her dad in jail. Now we're back in the hospital, so we know that Joaquin is getting better, and then they have a nice back and forth dialogue. He basically tells him, you're my Captain America, you're the person that I aspire to. It's a great moment for Sam. And then, yeah, good dialogue here. The Miami line is really cool, because he talks about how he wants, like, a wing upgrade and whatever. He's like, oh, maybe they'll, maybe if we're going to put these Avengers team together, maybe I'll need a wing upgrade. You think you got Wakanda on speed dial and whatever? And he's just like, you're going to ask Wakanda to do you a favor? That's the most Miami thing I ever heard. And that's one of the best dialogues between these two characters throughout the whole movie. He was originally supposed to die and revive as Red Hulk. You can tell the podium scene at the end is a rushed reshoot. Okay. We actually didn't go over the fact that how awesome Red Hulk looks, because I got distracted by the mustache thing. He looks so good. It's clearly they were able to reuse some assets from Hulks that they've done in the past, but they added the chest hair, because you gotta have a little chest hair. And it's just the blending of Harrison Ford's face onto this character is awesome. Now, I'll show you over here. Hold on. You might not be able to see it as well on the camera we're currently using, but I will show you. Oh, you know what? I can show it here, actually. So this is... make sure this lines up. This is the Red Hulk figure that we got. Now, this does not really look like Harrison Ford at all. It kind of just looks like a Hulk with a face. Hopefully, we will get another version of this figure that does look better. Which I'll bring it over here, too. And we can get a better Harrison Ford likeness out of this at some point. I'm getting all screwed up, sorry. Anyway, well, we do have that in stock if anybody needs it. Cool figure. But it is kind of just like a generic Red Hulk. Like, you can pass it off as a comic Red Hulk. That's why I was saying I don't think it's a bad figure. I just think that it doesn't look like Harrison Ford. Which I don't know if that was like a likeness rights thing or whatever, but that's what we ended up with. Anyway, where are we? Oh, yeah. So then that's the scene in the hospital. And then we have our after credit scene where it's the leader, and he's talking about how these are the guys going to come. They're coming for you. That's what's happening. And that's your post credit if you waited for the post credit. And then a lot of people think that Zemo was in that prison, and like there was somebody else. So sorry, I should have done this a week ago, and it would have been all fresh in my mind. It would have been a little bit cleaner. But I tried to just work off my notes and stuff. I played so much like Elden Ring the past week, and we reviewed a bunch of figures yesterday that my brain has started to push some of this movie out of it at this point. But overall, I think that hopefully that plot synopsis was good enough for people. So now overall, let's rate this movie. So what do we like about this movie? I like Anthony Mackie is fantastic. Love Harrison Ford. Love Carl Lumley. So three really good performances here. Danny Rodriguez is... I mean, I think I like him. I laughed at most of the things he said. I think he's a good sidekick character. This is what you want out of a sidekick character. But I can see how he's divisive and why he's divisive to certain people. But overall, I thought it was a fun character, and that's what you want out of that character. Avi clearly likes him, so in the chat. The leader is... I don't know, I'm leaning more towards not liking him as much as I originally thought, just because he's just kind of quoting analytics here and there. But I will say that which, you know what, let me actually get this guy's name. What the fuck is this guy's name? So Samuel Stearns is the character name. I want to be able to shout out the... Tim Blake Nelson. Okay, there we go. See, these are the little details that I forget. So, Samuel Stearns, Tim Blake Nelson. It was a really good performance by Tim Blake Nelson. Every time that he would come in and, like, deliver his dialogue, it was, like, very well delivered, very menacing. He has a really good voice, all that stuff. So I think the actual performance, like, most of the performances from the actors in this movie are really good performances. I just think that the writing suffered overall. And I think that has to do with needing to change the script a bunch of times, having a bunch of reshoots. I know we use that excuse over every single person. The number one thing that you talk about when you talk about this movie is the fact that there's reshoots. Now, for the normal audience that isn't as plugged in as us, would they even know that? They probably... No, they wouldn't know that. They wouldn't be concerned with what the budget of the movie was. And... they wouldn't even be able to point out the fact that there were reshoots at all. So, I don't know, maybe it's just one of those inside baseball things for a lot of this, but I don't know. Overall, I think if I were to rate it, I mean, I like most of the performances. I think the action is there. I think the Top Gun scene is really good. I think the Red Hulk scenes are really good. I like the scene in the church. That's a really good scene. I think based on the conversation we just had, I'm leaning towards more 6.5 out of 10. But I think, when I think about it, and I think the fact that I really like Anthony Mackie in this role, and I think that Harrison Ford delivered, and I think the performances, I'm going to go with 7 out of 10. And I'll agree with Avi there. With 6.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it the 2 times that I watched it. It's just me recapping it back. And I've watched, like, so many podcasts about it at this point and stuff, so I'm like, I don't want to get, like, too influenced by other people. When I came out of the movie, I was saying 7 out of 10. I'm going to stick with that. I just think overall, for the most part, what we wanted out of this movie, we got. We got a continuation of Sam's journey. Him continuing to feel like he deserves to be Captain America. That does pay off in the end. The conversation with Bucky where he tells him he doesn't need the serum. Steve had it, and he, had plenty of failures of his own. You're someone to aspire to. And then we revisit that moment in that same dialogue at the end where Joaquin tells him that you're somebody to aspire to, you're my Captain America, like all that stuff. That's all really good stuff. And I think that there's a lot of good relationships in this movie. Sam and Joaquin, whether you like it or not, that's up to you. I think it's a good relationship. And Sam and Ross having that that combative relationship, but then ultimately Sam understanding the situation that he's been put in and wanting to save him, and just being able to talk down Red Hulk in general is really good. I can't say Ross and Liv Tyler just because she's not in it enough. And then the Sam and Isaiah relationship is just the best relationship in this movie. And that's the thing about these movies. If you think about Sam and Steve, the on your left of it all. Like, that whole relationship is so fantastic. Sam and Bucky. Then, sorry, not Sam and Bucky. Steve and Bucky. The, you know, you taking all the stupid with you type stuff. You know, them growing up together. Steve doing all that he can to save Bucky, even though he knows all the horrible things that he's done, but he knows it wasn't his fault. You know, that's very similar to the relationship that we have between Isaiah and Sam at this point, because he was under mind control too. And I'll just harken back to that's probably the best acted scene in the movie is them with him in lockup. Sam continues to be a gem of a character. No, he is a great character. And honestly, dude, anybody that's getting hung up on like, oh, you're shoving this character in our face, DEI, it's like bullshit, dude. Like, anybody that says that about Sam Wilson as a character doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, did you guys even watch any of the MCU movies and see that he has earned this title? Like, that's such a stupid thing to complain about. You know, like, oh, not my Captain America because he's a black man. Shut the fuck up. Like, the way that this character has been written and the way that Anthony Mackie has delivered these performances, he deserves to be Captain America. And he deserves to lead the Avengers. So, you know, get over it. That's your hang-up, not his. So, overall, yeah, 7 out of 10. Solid 7 out of 10 movie. The problem is that the bar for MCU movies is so high. You know, that's really the thing. I mean, we see movies like Winter Soldier, Endgame, Infinity War, pretty much all the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, pretty much all the Cap movies. I love First Avenger, so I will say that this is the worst Captain America movie, but that's not like a bad thing. It's 4 awesome movies. You know, every single one of those movies are like an 8 out of 10 or higher for me. This one's a 7. First Avenger, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand why people don't respect First Avenger more. I love that movie. Like, I would probably put that movie like 8.5 or like 9. I can't even think of anything to complain about with that movie. Great period piece. And the only reason why I would put it there is because there are other movies. Like, Winter Soldier is 10. So you gotta have some type of scale here. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought about Brave New World in the comments. Let me know if you like this review discussion, Spoilercast. I know we went on a little long with me recapping the plot. I don't know if we need to do that every single time, but I knew that I took the notes and I wanted to be able to like cover the different parts of it. So let me know if you like this format. It is very much a long form discussion format. We've been live for 3 hours, and I feel like the majority of it has been us talking about this movie. So let me know what you guys think. And if you enjoyed this discussion and what you thought about the movie overall, and if you want to do stuff like this in the future, we'll do it for Thunderbolts. I was thinking about doing it for Daredevil. I do have to rewatch some Daredevil. I watched the first episode again today. So we'll see if I catch up in time. I would like to be able to do a Spoilercast reaction to that, like, the day of, or at least like the week of, so it's a matter of... The thing is that I didn't watch season 3 of Daredevil, so I do have to do that. But I feel like if I'm going to watch season 3, I might as well watch season 1 and 2. I think I'm safe to skip Defenders. I already saw it. Pretty much know what's going on there. So I think I'm going to like run through those. But it's also like over 30 episodes, and they're like 15 minutes each, so it's a little crazy. So we'll see. But we'll definitely do more stuff like this in the future. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Yeah. So once again, guys, this is Joe Blau from Joba's Palace. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Remember to follow us on all the social medias at Joba's Palace. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatnot, Facebook. We do our sales on whatnot. We have eBay as well. Join the Facebook group. If you guys are after figures, feel free to shoot me a DM on any of those platforms. Really, on Instagram is probably the best way to contact me, or you can just join one of the Whatnot streams. And if you just want to have discussion about different social media things, that's cool as well. So hit me up. Come join us for any of these, and we'll keep them coming. We'll keep them coming as long as people are enjoying them, and gives us something to do. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us. I appreciate you guys. Peace out. Alright, that's just me signing off so that the video looks good. Does anybody want anything before we sign off? I can nuke some of these elements. Let me get rid of me. Oh, it's here. Third time's a charm. Alright. If anybody wants anything, let me know. I'll do. Let you guys do the stuff for a little bit longer, but we're probably going to sign off in a minute. We'll have some more action figure reviews next week. Let me know if you guys are after anything specific. Alright, I think I'm going to nuke the TikTok stream, so it's not too long. So goodbye, TikTok. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys. Give us a follow, like some of the content we have. Do some reshares, whatever you do on TikTok. Bye. Alright, if anybody wants anything before we sign off, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to shut it down for the night. Yeah, I think it's time to shut it down. I already turned the TikTok off, though. I think the layout on TikTok looked good. It's actually nice to have the backdrop be the figures. I just hope that the audio sounded good. Alright, I think it's time to sign off, so... Okay, cool. Alright. I believe it's time to sign off, so thanks everybody for hanging out with us. And if you guys want anything, hit me up. Alright, peace out, Avi. Have a good one. Goodbye, guys.